Welcome to the Nerdist Podcast number 768. This episode is brought to you by Mozilla.org, the new Firefox. Fast for good. Mozilla builds products, technology, and programs that make the internet a little bit healthier of a place. Since using it helps Mozilla grow a healthier internet for everyone, you get to do good too and contribute. Learn more and download the new Firefox 2 times faster at mozilla.org. What's going on with the corkboard? Well, here we go. I got something.
What you got?
So, when I went to UCLA,
Yeah.
and I was in this group, the UCLA Comedy Club, which was basically
This
a
checks
group
out.
of young stand-ups, and we all met once a week and helped each other write material, and then we'd go perform in the dorms and stuff. That's how I met Mike Furman.
Ooh.
My best friend, Mike Furman. My friend Steve Callahan was president when I was
He
there.
works for Family Guy, I
He
think.
is now an executive producer on Family Guy. Our other friend, Pat Megan, also writes for Family Guy. And then one of my other friends is a guy named Chris Plain, and Chris has written an epic fantasy sci-fi novel series, actually.
Oh.
So he's written the first of 7 books.
That's a lot of books.
It's a lot of books. But it's called Whispers of Fate. It's on Amazon. And pick it up. He said he spent 5 years writing the first one. Hopefully it doesn't
Jesus
take him
Christ.
5 years to
You
write
gotta
each one of
build
the
that
7
universe.
books. But Chris is a great guy, and I adore him.
Is there a fun Stand By Me image of all of you guys somewhere? Because I feel like that might burn the internet.
Somewhere there is.
That'd be amazing. Just
Somewhere there's an image of us doing a parody of the old Calvin Klein ads, where it was just like all the heroin.
I'm glad that it's not
models.
dated at all and it'll still feel relevant. That's better than all of you guys just standing and smiling.
Somewhere there's
I'm glad you were clever.
somewhere there's pictures of us. I don't know where those pictures are though. I don't know if it's in a UCLA yearbook or if the guy that would have those pictures would be Steve Callahan, because Steve keeps amazing files and notes on everything. So
I would love to see the photo just to see all of you guys just fresh faced.
we're
I
such
hope
dorks.
Let's all get funny.
Whispers of Fate on Amazon now by Christopher Allen Plain. What do you got, Kyle?
I got nerd quilts.
Good.
I was actually thinking about it because I was sitting on the chair back there where we have a nice nerd-themed blanket, and I was like, more people should have soft things with Doctor Who, Sherlock, and Walking Dead logos on them. So it's on Etsy. It is just search My Nerd Quilt, and then there are My Nerd Quilts at My Nerd Quilts on Twitter. You can see their goods on Instagram at mynerd_quilt, and they got some cool stuff. I really like the Walking Dead blankets they've got, and I might get one for my aunt, so I hope she's not listening.
Fantastic. This episode is Fred Savage, who's so goddamn funny.
He is a silly man.
Well, he's really nice, and we became pals when he was directing Garfunkel and Oates, and he directed their TV show.
He also, I didn't realize, had directed 1 billion Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes.
He's directed a ton of
Once I
stuff.
started noticing, he's directed everything out there.
Well, now he's on The Grinder, which is Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Fox.
I mean, aren't we all on the grinder?
but
secretly?
wait, that's an app and not the show, The Grinder.
Are you telling me that Scruffy Host 69 was not you messaging me?
I'm not saying it,
You did call me Kyle.
Well,
And then said, don't turn me into a fountain.
I just, I wanted a random encounter that also felt familiar at the same time.
Oh, it's like the Pina Colada song. It's a lot of fun. We walk in and it's crazy.
That's why I was Rupert Holmes 99 on It took a second. That was a slow burn. But anyway, Fred Savage was fucking delightful on this podcast. He was one of those guys that immediately just clicked in with everyone and could just be sitting in on most of the episodes. Now, here is the episode number 768 with Fred Savage. Katie?
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor?
Sure. What's up?
Well, this is the beginning of the podcast episode, and we've just done the intro. Mm-hmm. So will you... I'm really embarrassed to ask this. Is there any way I could convince you to start the thing?
Okay.
That went well.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Savage is walking down the hallway. His footsteps get closer. Fred Savage has entered the room. Fred Savage is now taking his position in the chair, approaching the microphone. What will his first words be? The world awaits. We now turn it over to Fred Savage.
Good evening.
Wow.
I'm the internet. How does he know I'm listening to it in the evening? Maybe I'm a morning podcast listener. God damn it, Fred Savage.
Well, that's right. I shouldn't give it a specific time or date stamp, right?
I want to tell you something. This is your time. You give out whatever the fuck you want.
Social security numbers are great.
Your
good.
address,
Pin codes?
any pins that you want
Yeah.
to give out.
Wi-Fi
network-
passwords.
email passwords. Anything.
Let it all go.
Jason Hervey's address.
Oh, well, he's got a sprawling place, actually, in Mississippi.
Hervey's mom. Oh, did he move to Mississippi?
Yeah.
Hervey's mom was one of my first
Marsha?
managers. Yes,
Yeah.
Marsha Hervey
The
and,
best.
and Scott Grimes' mom.
The
too.
best. And Pam.
Hervey Grimes.
Yeah. They still have their agency.
Amazing. You know what freaked me out is that there was this at Talking Dead one week last year. This redheaded girl was there, and
That's creepy.
Of
in and
course.
itself.
I was like,
first of all, that's a story. Redheads are.
and I go, and someone introduced me to her as Cameron, and I go, oh, you look like my friend Scott Grimes' sister, and she was like, yeah,
She's
Heather's
Grimes.
my mom. And I'm like, oh my God. Because I remember when Cameron was born, and
Oh
now
my
she's like a
God.
walking around adult, and she's on a soap opera, and it freaked me out.
That's amazing.
I mean, very, very sweet. I love the Grimeses and the Herveys.
The Hurry Grimes, good shop, great people. When I'm casting shows and it's a Hurry Grimes client, I
Yeah.
know they're gonna be good.
They're very cool. They gave me a chance before I was doing anything.
And that's who you remember. That's
I
who
never
you,
worked for them one time. By the way. No, I didn't book anything.
But that's who you remember. The people who, for no good reason, gave you a chance.
And then they put me in Ernie Lively's acting class. Do you remember Ernie?
No, but I know that the Lively, it was
Blake Lively's father and
Right.
Robin and Lori.
No, but Robin Lively. Growing up, Robin Lively was like that was. It took me so long to put it together that Blake was her sister.
Yeah.
Because Teen Witch was like the best ever.
She did the rap recently in something, but I can't remember.
She did?
Yes.
Oh, like someone coaxed
it
her
was
to
at
do it?
Blake's wedding. I think she did it at Blake's wedding.
No way.
And I'm positive it's on the internet somewhere.
Well,
It has to be.
can you excuse me? Real quick? Is it bad form for me to look that up?
Oh, wait. How was it?
It was fantastic.
Did you recite it along the way?
I mean, I felt like it all came rushing back. It all came rushing back.
Of course, you want to do it now,
I
right?
felt like I was at the wedding. And I feel like you were you there? Because you
Of course,
brought it up.
Yeah. I mean,
very,
I took Ernie's acting class, so of course I was invited. In 1992.
All
So
his
of course I
students.
was invited to
all
the
those-
wedding.
That was a good year of students.
Yeah,
a good crop.
It was just the 1992 students. He
The
brought.
crop of '92 was a good.
good
Like said,
vintage.
you can
Good
pick
vintage.
one year.
92 was
Invite
an
'em.
excellent year.
Bring 'em.
You know who else was in that acting class? Allison Hannigan.
Really?
Super awesome, yeah. So many people went off to do amazing things.
You'll get there, Chris.
One of these days,
Keep plugging.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Keep plugging.
I'm gonna stick with it. I think. I am so amazed at how and so delighted at how your career has gone all these years. But I'm also curious. At what point were you say? Because I'm sure a lot of people know this, or maybe they don't know this, but you've been directing a shit ton of stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And so, why did you decide to? What made you go like? I think I want to do acting again.
Nothing. I mean, I'm still not 100% sold on it. I don't know. Honestly, Nick Stoller was an executive producer on the pilot, writer and director.
The
himself.
Grinder.
Yeah, he's awesome. And so he gave me the Grinder pilot script because he was kind of shepherding that with Jared and Andy, the writers. And his daughter is in school with my daughter, and our wives are friends. And so this is how things work in show business. And so he's like, "Oh, read this script." I was like, "Oh, it's fantastic." He goes, would you want to come and talk about doing Stewart? And I was like, "Oh, to be in it? No, I thought you wanted me to direct it. He goes, oh, no, Jay Kasdan's going to direct it. I was like, oh, well, thank you, but I'm not doing that anymore. He goes, I know, but I just thought I'd take a shot. I'm like, no, thank you. I really appreciate it, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to be directing. And I got home. My wife's like, I heard you didn't even go meet Nick. I guess Francesca, who's Nick's wife, called my wife.
That's how stuff really happens.
Yeah. She goes, you didn't even go meet with him? I'm like, honey, I'm not going to waste his time. Like, I felt awkward enough, like, just passing. I'm not going to meet him and then pass. She goes, take the fucking meeting. Can I say that? I didn't say it.
Yeah.
She's like, our daughters are going to be in school together for 10 years. We got to see him every birthday party till 6th grade. Go take the meeting. Have a bottle of water. Who gives a shit? Go over there. And so I was like, oh. So I called Nick. I'm like, I'll come have a meeting. Okay. He's like, all right, thank you. I said, Nick, I'm not going to do it. So do you want me to just pass now or go through the whole drama of a meeting and everything? He's like, I would be upset if you didn't at least come in and meet the team. So I was like, oh, fine. So I went and I met, with Nick and Jared and Andy are the writers and Jake, the director, and Jake's partner, Melvin. And we started talking about the show and about the character and about the script. And Jared, one of the writers, he was also an actor. And so we kind of started improvising some scenes and doing some stuff. And I left. I was like, oh, it's a pretty fun group. I enjoyed myself. It literally was just a good time. And so I was like, oh, these seem like a good group of guys to hang out with for 5 or 6 days and shoot a pilot. And then it got picked up, and now we're on the air. And by the way, I couldn't be more thrilled. Like, I know it was initially in my head. I was like, oh, it's just for a few days. It'll be fun. But I literally jumped in because I liked the guys. I felt like creatively we were on the same page, and I loved the material, and I liked the character, and I liked what we were going to do with it. And I got it. So I got in with the best of intentions. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I need a gig, or oh, I want to, we have a third kid, which we do. But so it wasn't like, it was literally just with the purest of hearts of like, this is a great group that I'd love to work with on a piece of material that I really like. And it's been working out so far. I can't believe it.
Well, yeah, because Rob Lowe was on like 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
And because
you just called me for this like last week. And I feel like we and I have a relationship.
We do, yeah, we do.
So,
but I mean,
that's
Rob
weird.
Lowe, he's so dreamy.
Yeah.
He really is.
Right.
I mean, you just get lost in his eyes.
You do.
And
I look at him every day, and it never gets old. It never gets old.
He had the best things to say about working on it and working with you, and just said that it was such a fun. He's like, the script made me laugh out loud so many times.
Did you try and call me first? And like I was unavailable? And well, let's get Rob?
Because Rob's like 50, right? And his hair is perfect.
Now I feel like this is like a pity thing. Like, oh, maybe Fred heard the Rob one.
Oh, you're the friend.
Yeah, I'm the friend. So
we just had Mary Elizabeth Ellis on at midnight, too.
I know. Saw her today. Saw her today.
We might put this up.
Okay. I mean, is William Devane in the lobby? Did I just pass him? Was he here for this?
Yeah.
All right, listen in before Devane.
I actually had a pepper grinder on last week.
God. I mean, I understand where I am in the world.
No,
I have a very real sense of myself.
I just assumed.
But I just felt like you and I, we worked together, and I was so nice to you and complimentary. We had such a nice time. Oh, let's do the podcast. Yeah, you got to do the podcast. I guess you do that. I guess I'm such a fool. Such a fool.
Your guest today has been Fred Savage. Enjoy your burrito, everyone.
As long as I've been in show business, I'm always amazed at how amazed I still am by show business.
No, I'll tell you this. The reason Rob came on...
Don't.
No, I am going to tell you.
Fred, honestly, it's going to hurt both our feelings.
It's actually not.
When you said he was older, I thought you meant and like closer to dying. I didn't know you meant
he is.
Hair. His hair.
Yeah, he has gorgeous hair. But he was promoting something else. Actually, he wasn't actually just promoting the grinder. He was promoting something else.
His cartoon.
He was promoting
Profile for Men, his skincare product,
maybe
which
a
is
book.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yes, he's prolific. Who knows? God, how do we choose what amazing thing could it have been as not book?
What's your favorite Rob Lowe movie?
Okay,
Do you want to call him right now?
yeah.
Put him on speakerphone.
I would say, the classics. I would go with the classics. I would love to pull out Class or something, but I would say,
Wow, that is a real
I would
pull.
say, I would say St. Elmo's, About Last Night, maybe has a little edge on St. Elmo's.
Yeah.
Because it was a more fun romp.
Class is a really interesting movie.
Great.
Jacqueline Bisset,
They were amazing.
such a good movie.
Tommy Boy I liked a lot. He's funny.
Still holds up.
Yep, absolutely.
Still holds up. No, I got to meet you doing Garfunkel and Oates.
So fun. I was
so much fun.
Driving in here today. It was very odd. I've shot this scene.
You did actually.
I shot
this
you doing a
podcasting
podcast.
thing. Well, is it playing out the way? Where would you put the cameras?
I would put no. I will say, this is not what I was expecting as a setup.
Are you a Doctor Who fan at all?
I don't watch Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. Because after I did the Garfunkel and Oates thing, I got an email from David Tennant, who was one of the doctors.
Yeah.
And he said, I've just fallen in love with the Garfunkel and Oates show, and I saw you on there, and it was great. And
Let me rephrase. I love Doctor Who.
well, he's not anymore. Now he's
Particularly
on-
the Tennant years.
Now he's on Jessica Jones.
which again
Jessica Jones is fantastic.
will be my new favorite show.
You will love it, and he is magnificent on it. But now that you're acting, is the directing thing sort of like, well, I guess I'll just put that off for now, or how
yeah, it's I feel like I'm currently employed on this other job, so I
They
feel
gonna throw you a bone?
Are you directing any of them?
no, I don't. I don't want to. I want to just focus on acting. That's enough to keep me occupied.
How many Wonder Years episodes did you direct?
0.
That would have been amazing if you had directed a Wonder
It
Years
would have been
episode.
very difficult because I was a minor, so I had to go to school.
Right.
So it would be hard to direct a show. Be like, okay, guys, hold on a second. I got an algebra test. I'll be right back.
I know. I rarely ever say this, but I've never liked a human being more than Fred Savage right now.
Fred is such a wonderful guy, and I'm always because we met after we met on the Garfunkel and Oates thing.
Yeah.
And you were super nice to me there, and the set
Big
was
fan.
run
Big
really
fan.
well. And you
You
and
were
I,
here for a meeting. You guys met here.
We met.
had a
We met.
meeting?
We met here. We were talking about some stuff that we might eventually do together at some point. But I always love to see people who, if you had turned out to be a huge jerk. I think people are like, well, he was a child actor. I guess you can't really fault him in it.
Right.
But when I meet people who were child actors, Neil Patrick Harris is the same way, sweetest
Great
guy
dude.
in the world.
Great guy.
And I feel like it always boils down to a very simple formula. If you have nice parents, you turn out to be a nice person.
Yeah.
If you have dickhead parents, you turn out to be a dickhead person.
Which is true in life in general, not just for child actors. You know what I mean? I just feel like, when you are a young actor or, achieved any sort of, notoriety as a young person, whether it's through entertainment or acting or sports or whatever it is, it just gets magnified, the wins and losses. But I feel like if you have, you're completely right, by the way. People ask me all the time, I'm like, yeah, it's the parents. So I really appreciate you pointing that out because my parents are the best.
Well,
Amazing.
because the business enables people in negative ways as adults. So when you're a child and you're going through the most developmentally vulnerable and sensitive time in your life, and that's happening, and you don't really understand you don't understand that the world is a series of ups and downs,
Right.
So because you haven't really been knocked on your ass a whole lot yet,
Yeah.
So that can be a very bad thing, obviously, when you grow up.
It can be. It definitely can be. But I do think that if you have lousy parents, it's going to be hard to overcome that regardless.
And Jason Hervey, who always played an asshole in pretty much everything, is like the nicest guy.
The best guy. The best guy. Great parents.
God. So you have to be dicks to your kids, though, so that it skips a generation.
Awful. I'm honestly, my son, I was walking out the door, and my 9-year-old, my son's like, hey, Dad, just, I told him I was going to do an interview. He goes, just, do Marshawn Lynch it. Just be Marshawn Lynch. He just wanted me to give one, monosyllabic, yeah. Yeah.
So does he like being a parent? No.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, wow. Okay, so your kids are in school?
Yeah.
And you want to talk
Yeah.
about it?
So, but back to my being a terrible parent, I said that was a horrible idea. You're going to ruin my career. You're awful.
Yeah.
And then I sent him to his room. No dinner.
Good. No dinner. Yeah,
dinner.
good. For months.
I was like, if you're going to rep me, if you're going to be my publicist, Oliver, this advice sucks, and you need to know the difference. You can't be like, oh, good try, buddy. No dinner.
They need to learn now.
I did.
As a
I did.
If he's
I
going
look
to be
at
a
them.
child publicist.
He's 9.
Hey, if
He's
you're
done-
a child actor, he can be a child publicist.
He's done garbage.
He's
work.
done no movies. He's done. Yeah, why can't it be? You know what? That's a great point. Why can't child actors have kid agents and child publicists?
Do you think they're going to be any worse than regular agents?
No, they'll probably
They might
fearless.
work harder.
He's going to be. We could do child business managers.
They're hungrier.
They are. They're not jaded. They haven't made bad mistakes.
I want you to come in for 12, but I gotta go to class. So.
I'm going to be napping till 2.
You're getting paid in Teddy Grahams and paste.
My children are great. I love my kids. I'm not a good parent, but I have the best of intentions. I do love them.
Why do you think you're not a good parent?
No, I'm
You're
a great.
kidding.
No, I'm a good
You have
dad.
to be a great dad.
I'm a good dad. I feel like I'm a good dad. My wife thinks I'm a good dad.
Do you ever? Are your kids? Are you ever going to sit them down and go? I'm going to show you a little program called The Wonder Years.
Oh, I mean, it's required. I'm going to show you a little something. That's everything. Yeah. Actually, my mom has started showing them the show, so they love staying at my mom's house.
I mean, that is such a huge thing for a kid. Whenever you see your parent as a child, but to get to live a separate life. With
I've
your
never
dad?
watched it with them, and they watch it. My mom shows it to them all the time. They're going through the whole series.
I would go one step further and just have Daniel Stern narrate at your house.
I was just gonna say you should have Daniel Stern record your outgoing voicemail message.
We gotta get him on the phone. Gotta call Dan. But I don't watch it with them, but they watch it with my mom. They watch The Grinder, although some of it's, I've realized, inappropriate. Like,
Yeah, kids have the internet now. It's
They
just
do.
impossible to protect them from anything anymore.
Yeah.
In terms of content. Yeah, I think why even try?
well, I mean, it's not porn. I mean,
No.
it's not so bad.
It's only going to make it more mysterious and alluring if you're like, you shouldn't watch that. And they're going to be like, oh.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we deal with drugs in our house.
You just give them tons of drugs.
Yeah, just do it now.
We're going to leave.
You know, let's forget
around.
I want you to lose the allure.
Here's a bowl of drugs. Is that how drugs work?
Smoke this. Smoke this. Kids.
You're going to smoke every one of these until I didn't even buy this. I know. We're just cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, it's not going well. Their teeth are falling out. It's terrible.
They'll grow. They're kids.
They're
They'll grow
children,
back.
yeah.
Baby teeth.
They have
They
another
love the
set.
baby teeth.
That's what they're there for.
They have another
Yeah.
set.
Yeah. Faces of baby meth. I think it's adorable.
That's right. We're going to start that Tumblr tonight.
It's like Muppet Babies, but for meth heads.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I don't see you can direct it if you want to.
I would. Yeah. All right. I'm in.
How was your, I mean, I assume my gut is that the experience on Wonder Years for you was probably a pretty wonderful childhood, separate family experience.
Very positive. Very positive. I mean, I'll be honest. Like my whole experience has been pretty good. I mean, I feel like I don't have any terrible stories, or no one was awful.
Come
to
on,
me.
Rob Reiner's a dick, right?
No, he was nice then. He was nice then. Very nice to me then. No, but yes, the Wonder Years was a great experience, and very familial. As you said, and very very warm place. It was great.
And Danica, who's a fucking math genius,
Right.
is wonderful. Like, everyone's really cool on that show.
No, everyone's great. Danica's math genius, amazing. Written several best-selling math books for kids. It's incredible. She created a whole industry on her own. These math books she wrote for young kids and young girls. Josh, who played Paul, is intellectual property attorney and just started his own firm. Jason is a producer extraordinaire, making sports videos and reality shows. He's just nonstop.
You could tag this to you could take that speech and put over the last episode of The Wonder Years.
That's true. That's
on
true.
the blue, like,
I should be more soulful when I do it. But no, everyone's just great.
And I did one episode of Boy Meets World.
You did?
Your brother's show.
No way.
I did one episode, yeah, and I forgot about it. And then, like, a few years ago, it popped up on YouTube or MTV2 or something. It just started airing, and people were like, "You're on Boy Meets World." There was an episode.
Well, they got to get you on the new one. They got to get you on Girl Meets World. Everyone's coming back.
Well, but it'd be weird because the episode was specifically that they felt that Will Friedle and I in the 90s looked very similar. We both had those white guy hair drapes.
Right.
And so Will came on an episode of Singled Out.
Yeah.
So I played myself.
Oh, you played the host. Oh,
I played myself as the host of Singled Out.
I should know this. I don't know why I'm playing. I
No,
should
it
just act
doesn't
like I
matter
knew
if you.
this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you know this or not. But and so and it was a funny. It was funny because Jenny McCarthy turned it down.
Right.
And so in this alternate Boy Meets World Singled Out universe, I was the only host on the show, which never would have flown.
No.
And so that was funny. It was like, oh, you got the reason that people don't watch the show to be on the show, but there's all these pictures of us staring at each other with our hair
that's
drapes.
really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
What is Ben doing?
Ben's doing Girl Meets
He's
World.
doing Girl Meets World now.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I mean, it just to get locked into, when you grow up with people, but then you always think, oh, they're like, there's that little guy. I was like, no,
Right.
they all have kids and their parents.
I know.
Everyone's all fucking grown up.
It's crazy. The whole thing's weird. This whole thing's weird.
That you're a grown up?
No, the whole thing we do, like
Oh,
being on TV and coming on podcasts. This is just weird.
It is weird, but it's like,
But I love it. I wouldn't want it any other way.
it's wonderful because it's mostly, if you do it properly, it should feel like you're kind of fucking around most of the time.
Yeah. It does.
I mean,
it does.
And that's why it's insane to have been so successful as a young person and then grow up with normal, because to learn that it should be fun and it's not just a thing to satisfy your ego in any one moment is such an important.
Yeah, I think it started out when I first started. I grew up in Chicago. My mom took me to an audition one day because there was auditions at our like local community center, and so instead of going to the park that day, like my mom and her friends took me and my friends, we all went to to audition for this commercial just for fun. And so this idea of like, oh, this is all just kind of a fun, cool thing to do. That's how I got into it, and that's how it's stayed that way. I know it sounds kind of I feel like so Pollyannish, but it's true. Like this sense of discovery and excitement and newness, and every experience from the very first job I did was a Pac-Man vitamins commercial. And the very first job I
Is
did,
that somewhere online?
yes, it is online, and it's amazing. It's my very first. I mean, and I watch it online a few times a day. And I'm like, God, it all started there. It is online. But as far as like, we would have gotten out of it a long time ago if it was a pain in the ass, or if we didn't enjoy it, because it was hard. My younger brothers and sisters, my mom, would drive me downtown, to Chicago, to the city.
So did your family
do
kind
auditions.
of divide, or did everyone move out to LA when you started doing Wonder Years?
Well, we divided, and then everyone slowly came out. So my mom and I came out here and lived in the Oakwood Garden Apartments.
Of course you have to live in the Oakwood.
Of course.
That's like Ellis Island for actors.
It is Ellis Island. I always refer to it as purgatory, but you're right. It is Ellis Island. It is.
It's
You
the
kinda-
gateway to Hollywood.
Yes, the unwashed masses come through, and some are selected out for diseases and aren't allowed in. It's just like Ellis Island. You're 100% right. So I lived there with my mom from the very beginning, and then my brother and sister came out, and then slowly my dad came out. But we all came out here. But
Did you find it? Okay.
I mean, you're just in the end, right?
I'm just in the end.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, just look. I mean, that is good. That's.
Without sugar or additives. Goodbye, Fred. Hello, Batman. A better choice.
I think you could have done a better read.
That. I got real mad at the director because he moved on after that take, and I'm like, hey, Bob,
Come
His
on,
name was
man.
Bob Richter. I said, don't bring me down here and just say, oh, let's move on.
Do you want to sell these fucking Pac-Man vitamins?
Do you want to do it right or do you want to do it fast? You choose, because I'm here regardless. So, you have me for the day. So you can wrap me now and rest on your laurels, or let's see where this fucker can go. So, no, I do. It's so funny you pointed that out, because most people look at that and say, oh, isn't that cute? But you really look at it and you're right. And you say, you felt like I had more in the tank.
You know what? You probably should have taken a Pac-Man vitamin before.
And I'm not going to argue with you. I think you're absolutely right. That just seems to me like a lot of lost
telling him he has
potential.
more in the tank. Kid, I think you got more in the tank.
I think you got
You're
more.
not giving 100%. You haven't learned percentages yet, but you're not giving 100%.
I think you're sitting on something. But that
You're such a tiny.
that launched that started it all.
When did
Isn't that so funny? Chicago, Illinois.
when
Bob
did
Richter.
Princess Bride? Where was that? Was that before Wonder Years? Because you're pretty young. when
Yes,
Princess
that was
Bride-
before Wonder Years.
God damn it, that movie still holds up.
I know.
As
I know.
one of the most quotable.
People love it. I just heard a clip on the radio this morning of Ted Cruz saying it was his favorite movie
Oh, God.
and quoting it at a rally in Iowa, quoting like the Humperdinck.
Really?
And I was driving in
so
the car,
sorry.
and I'm like, that's crazy that it's made its way into like political discourse.
Mr. Trump, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
But no, people love. I mean, it's that movie has really endured. It's pretty incredible.
It really. I mean, it's such a beautiful story, but it's such an amazing cast.
The cast is incredible. I mean, even then when we did it, my parents and I were like, "This is a pretty amazing group of people." And since then, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, Peter Falk. Did you ask him about Columbo stories?
Peter Falk was that's the only guy I worked with.
Right.
The movie was done. Our part was the last part that they shot. And he was so warm and nice. And I would see him years later, when the Wonder Years was on ABC, and for a while they did these Columbo specials.
Yeah.
Long after the series, they did specials, in the late 80s and early 90s. So I would see him at a lot of ABC functions, upfronts and things like that. And he was always so nice, so warm, just great guy.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's been a really to navigate this business is a really difficult. Even as an adult, it can be a challenging thing.
Yeah.
But for you as the director or the star of a show, I think you probably understand that it is your responsibility to set the tone for a set, and it was so. The tone that you set on the Garfunkel and Oates show was so upbeat and positive and super like, we're having fun, we're just doing this. It's silly that we get to do. I mean, it was such a good. It was such a good
that's
vibe.
good. That's good. It's not, it's not always the case. I mean, it's a stressful position, directing a show. So I'm glad it was good. Sometimes I'm better at it than other times, but I'm glad that was good.
Was there a period where you felt like you had to establish yourself as a grown-up in some way? You felt like, I don't want to always just be the Wonder Years guy. Or there,
I mean, I didn't do that. Like, that wasn't an intention. That wasn't a goal. Like, I'm going to separate myself from the Wonder Years. Like, that wasn't, like, all the decisions I've made were always kind of towards something rather than away from something. You know what I mean? So I always wanted to be a director. And since I was a kid on the Wonder Years, I wanted to direct. I was interested in the camera and the mechanics of it, and it was just kind of a cool piece of equipment when I was young. And then as I got a little older, I was so interested in the creative decisions directors would make, and how putting a camera in one part of the room would give you a different vibe than another part of the room, and how storytelling and mood and tone was affected by camera position and movement. And I just was very interested in that. So it was never really a move away from, I want to establish myself as something other than, Kevin Arnold or being on the Wonder Years. And it was more a move towards what I always wanted to do, what always held this allure to me when I was a kid.
and what was your first directing job?
My first directing job was a show I was on called Working.
Oh, Working. Yeah, Working was a great show.
Working?
Of course I remember Working.
It was a show for NBC. It was pretty funny. But we at the time, I thought we came and went pretty quickly. But now, in the days of like getting canceled after 2 episodes, we
was
did
a
like
few
40 of
seasons,
them.
right?
We did like a season and a half.
Yeah.
Has anything been canceled this season? Yet? I think it's like one show. It's amazing.
Oh, how fast?
No, how slow. This is the longest since like 1967 that the slate has lived.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe their networks are just like, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Just
I know.
leave something on and maybe people will start.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that's true. Like, I think what constitutes a hit or not a hit, it's so hard to tell. And
Well, I mean,
decide.
imagine if the Grinder was getting the Wonder Years numbers. Fox would be like, "Well, we did it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Close-up
You're
shot."
picked up forever.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, when the Wonder Years was starting, Fox was just getting started. I mean, just getting warmed up. So, if you weren't getting like if your share number wasn't like high 20s, like you were not pulling your weight. There were 3 networks. So if like 10% of the audience was watching you were done. No chance. So I think those shows. Those audiences just aren't.
Well, it's unfair. This story of this metric of relying heavily on what one Nielsen number says is like, but that's not the whole story anymore.
Now there's Live Plus 3 and Live Plus 7, and then there's all the impressions on the network's websites.
The plus 3 and plus 7 are days. It's like it's how many people have watched within 3 days, 7 days.
Yes, but then there's all other. Those are still Nielsen numbers. Then there's all these other numbers about who watched on Hulu and on like the Fox site or the CBS site or the NBC site. So I don't know. I mean, honestly. As it pertains to the Grinder, like I think we're making a good show, and that's really all we can do. And then come on your fine podcast and collect the millions of viewers that will come pouring in.
Yeah,
the Nerdist.
That's an accurate number.
The Nerdist listener, millions.
You're gonna get the Nerdist bump. Millions.
Yeah. I feel
millions
like,
of people.
Yeah, I think if we can get. Like from this podcast, I'm counting on at least, like 1 million people.
I mean, that's a safe estimate,
Right.
I guarantee all of that.
Yeah.
100%.
That will triple our audience.
I think so.
Just that million. No, but I mean, all you can do is try and make a good show, and then hopefully through the machine of whatever publicity and the show and the network and somehow try and draw an audience. And I think particularly comedies are slow builds. I think I've always felt that drama is very universal. If if a dog gets run over by a car, like that is sad to everybody.
Right.
Like that's awful.
Right.
Like if a kid gets kidnapped,
If a dog gets run over by a clown car,
hysterical.
really funny.
But so I feel like what's dramatic is universal,
right?
But what's funny is really personal,
of course,
really individual. So I feel like all the comedies that I've really loved that have been on network television, over the past several years, have all been slow builds. Whether it's Parks and Rec or 30 Rock or even shows like How I Met Your Mother, or Big Bang, like these big shows. They're all such slow builds, The Office, similarly. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, all these terrific comedies are just very slow building, and hopefully, we've got a lot of good vibes. People seem to like the show. People think it's funny and think it's kind of different, which is great. And so you just try and stay on long enough to hopefully have some kind of critical mass, I guess.
But the thing that I think is good for you is no matter how long the show stays on, I'll go do something else I enjoy, or I'll go direct more, or I'll go I feel like it's a good place to be.
Yeah, I still want this to succeed. I still want to do, I still want it to do well. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to know that, there's other, I do a lot of directing. I do commercial directing. I do, a bunch of voice work. So the lights are going to stay on at the Savage House,
right? Right.
I mean, don't worry.
Your kid's got that sweet PR company.
Yeah. Well, that alone, I think, is going to be So I mean, we're going to be fine, But I want this to, be successful, and I feel like you can be. I think it's nice not to have to be so precious. Do you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes And I say this to like actors sometimes when like they Lenny something, like they just love it to death and they just hold it so preciously and then they just crush it and kill it,
Right.
you know? And I feel like that can happen so many times, you know? And I feel like this show, I feel like all of us, you know, myself, Rob, Mary Elizabeth, the guys who wrote, the guys who created it, Jake, we all came to this show. Like Rob didn't really, you know, Mary Elizabeth sold a pie. She didn't want to come do a show, but she's like, why not? It sounds like fun. Same with Bill Devane's raising polo horses in Palm Springs. She didn't want to come do a show. He's like, whatever. Well, why not? And I feel like we all kind of came to this because we really believed in it and wanted to be a part of something that made us all excited. So I think there's a real, there's both a lack of preciousness, but also we've all come into it with the best of intentions. We all just were really excited by each other's involvement and by the script, and we just kind of believe in the show and want it to be great. So I think that the fact that we're all kind of here not desperately, you know, is better for everybody.
God,
and
it's
for the
such
show.
a bad place to be. It's such a bad place to be.
Being so overly
That's
precious.
sort of like, oh my God, I really need this. I really need it. Like, it's
Yes.
the worst. You feel bad. You don't enjoy any of it. You sort of like, your mood depends on how that's swinging.
And you're also afraid to take risks, and you're afraid to be bold, and you're afraid to be different, and you're afraid to fail, which, you know, especially doing comedy or the kind of comedy I like, you need to kind of take big swings and be a little ridiculous and potentially fall on your face. Because I think the audience that we want, you know, we are looking for people who like comedy, you know, who get comedy and who know it and appreciate good comedy. And those people also recognize, you know, bad comedy. And I feel like, you know, if you do kind of the tried and true and the same thing that's worked in the past, people kind of smell a rat. But if you want to try and do something different and be a little unique and bring something new to the table, you have to be afraid. You can't be afraid to take a risk,
right?
And to do something silly, and that's where the best stuff comes from. So yeah, that lack of preciousness is also, I guess you can also say, it's a lack of fear. You know, we all want it to be great, but we're not too afraid that we're not gonna, you know, take a risk.
And weirdly, it's counterintuitive because it's riskier to not try new things,
Totally.
even though your brain,
Yes.
your brain is like, oh, I don't know, you know.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it is. And but you know, but you also look at TV and you see there you know, you need to appeal to a really, especially on broadcast television, you need to appeal to a big audience, you know, ideally.
Well, network does for sure.
And so I think to some extent, you know, things can get watered down, which is why I think there's such great comedy being done elsewhere. You know, whether it's, you know, Broad City or, you know, Kroll Show or Drunk History. I mean, there's such great innovative comedy.
You're just
being
talking
done.
about Comedy Central.
Huh?
You're just talking about Comedy
Did I
Central.
just say Comedy Central shows?
At midnight. Yes, Fred, at midnight
There's
as well.
At Midnight. Is that on still?
You son of a bitch.
Is that? That's
How dare you come into my house?
No, we got a big push coming. We're hired Oliver.
no, there's Key and Peele. Oh shit, that's Comedy Central too. God damn it.
Well, there really is only one comedy channel on all of television now.
And the name is right in the title, which makes
They
it
tell
so
you
easy.
right there. Yeah.
No, but my point is that you know, there are bigger risks being taken elsewhere on comedy, and if you want to, you know, for comedy, and if you want to make a name for yourself, especially on network TV, I think, you know, we want to, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging, you know, and trying to do something different. And at the end of the day, all you can control is the quality of the work, and hopefully you can be proud of it. And so far, we've had the best of both worlds. You know, the audience is starting to find us. You know, it's growing every week, which is fantastic, and we're proud of the show. So, I mean, right now we're in a great position.
Are you going to go direct something on your next break?
Yeah, there's a movie that I'm gonna do hopefully over the break.
Do you want me to be in it?
Are you available? You have so much going on.
I do.
I wouldn't even inquire about you. It's funny you mentioned this. I was just at a meeting with some agents, and I was like, "What do you think about, you know? Don't even mention Chris Hardwick. There's not even. Don't even.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, don't even. It's not possible.
You're doing a bit.
He's got so much going on.
Oh, that was your agents, Chris.
They said,
When they go, don't even mention, you're like, I wasn't going to. Okay, we just want to make sure you weren't going to mention
Right. And I was like, but don't you represent him? And
we can't even talk about him.
Yeah, they said we can't. I said, but that seems like an odd way. Like, I know, but that's how we do it.
He who must not be named.
Yeah,
If we
right.
mention him, it pulls a little life force out of him, and he's very busy.
Yeah, you can't sell. So anyway, I don't want to take this. You got an empire to run.
Stop.
I'm just a man with a dream and a
How
camera.
did you know he's the new showrunner for Empire?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
no, you. Are,
It was weird that I took it over, but I was like,
They.
Got some great
I'll
stories
tell
for
you, I
Lucius.
love Empire. I love Empire.
Great.
But they're lacking a white male voice.
Yep.
On that show.
I think that's what television needs.
We need
more
more-
of.
Right?
White
I mean,
male
who's going to stand
voices.
up for us?
Who's going to stand up for? Who's going to bring the white man's voice? Chris Hardwick.
Onto television. Don't pin that on me.
Yeah.
No. Don't pin that on me.
No,
No, the bit.
Fred's right.
People are going to
Chris
take the
Hardwick
bit
is
for
gonna do it.
serious.
No, you're the white man.
Disclaimer. Yes, Chris Hardwick is technically white. He does not wish
No,
to
I
put his
mean,
perspective
looking
on
around, you
Empire.
are the whitest guy in the room.
That is true. Kyle's pretty white, though.
No, you're.
Shit.
Yeah, you're wearing a suit right now.
At two,
which is
Brute.
exactly what
Yeah.
the man would wear.
No, you're right.
You're wearing a coat and a tie. In like the best part about a podcast
Yeah,
is
you
you,
have
you can look like shit. You look fantastic.
How else can I look down upon the poor people?
I mean, you look amazing.
I understand, Fred.
This is a woman who works on a podcast,
She's got a sweatshirt.
right?
Yeah.
She's always
covered
wearing,
in
she's always
dog
wearing
hair.
her Tina Fey outfit. He's right, Katie. You could look a little nicer.
That is. To be fair, that's Kyle. Kyle Sheds.
Oh, is that your hair?
Kyle Sheds.
I feel like that's somehow better.
Kyle Sheds. We need to put your flea collar on, Kyle. It's time to. Yeah.
Good.
No. Okay. This week we'll do advantage. Right. We'll just right between the shoulder blades. Yeah. I'm.
So you're gonna make Empire better, is basically.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you turn on TV, you see Empire, you see Fresh Off the Boat,
Yeah. And
you know,
and I
you get
really
angry.
feel like.
right? You
angry
see
inside.
Transparent, and you're like, you know what? There's a sea change a coming.
Well,
and
what
I don't like
what
it.
I'm going to bring to Empire is soundtrack by Muse. This is going to be.
That's the whitest you could come up with.
Well, how was I supposed to go country?
No, I feel like you could just go like Smash Mouth. It's whitest.
No, it is. No, I think if I was going to go
Iron
whitest, it
Wine.
would probably be like Toby Keith or
Sure.
I mean,
Billy
you're,
Joel.
Yeah,
Postal Service, you got them back
Postal
together.
Service.
For this.
Yeah, we'll get Ben Gibbard on there.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's gonna.
Snow Patrol's coming back.
Snow Patrol's going to be on. We're going to get some Keith Urban on there and Magic by David Blaine.
Right, right.
All of a sudden, there's some trouble at the label. Dave Matthews takes over.
I think that's what it's missing. I don't know how we got on this, but you're the future.
Television.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the future.
Buy some stock in white men, ladies and gentlemen. It's going up.
Yeah, no, I think there's a downswing right now, but I
Yeah.
feel like
No,
it's a long-term hold.
Buy low,
Buy
sell
while
high.
it's low.
Buy while it's low.
Buy while it's low. Our stock is low right now, guys, but we're going to hang in there.
Good times are right around the corner.
We suck right now, but in a couple of years, who knows what could happen?
We'll be the denim jackets of,
Sorry about
of
Trump.
society. Shunned, but you know what? Kept in a
People will
closet.
see white people in pictures from old pictures. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, remember when those were trendy? Ugh, that looked terrible." Mom, you dated a white guy? It was a phase.
And then people just start hiring us to be ironic. We got this show. We're going to put white people in it.
We
Just
deserve it.
why not, right? Fuck everybody. Put some white folks in there.
That would be fair. That would only be fair if that were the case.
And
What's the movie?
scene. White people are terrible.
What's the movie you're working on?
It's it's very early. It's this movie called Situation Comedy that Kat Vasco.
It's very early. You're shooting soon.
Well, very preliminary. We're not shooting that soon. I don't know, June maybe. I don't know. I feel like movies take a long time. We'll see.
Longer than television, for sure.
Yeah. And also, television, and I'm learning this, I was attached to another movie that never really got going. And, TV, like there's a mechanism. Like TV, like it's going.
Has to
you know what I
go.
mean? Like when you do a pilot or you're doing a show, like it's happening. The wheels are turning. And movies, and I know this sounds like, oh, of course, but I'm just kind of realizing it now. To get it from like from nothing to something is really hard. Like when even the earliest days of getting on a TV show, Garfunkel and Oates, or if I'm doing a pilot or something like that, it's at least going at like 10 miles an hour, and then you can get it up to 60 or get it up to 100, whatever you have to do. But to get it from 0 to 10 is a real bear.
That's why you're doing Princess Bride 2, Inconceivable.
That's right.
Which you're going to be reading a story to your son.
I'm the grandfather reading to my
Well,
son.
it's not it's your adopted son because you couldn't conceive. That's why it's called Inconceivable.
Right.
So
It's about your struggles with
No.
your wife trying to conceive a baby.
The illness that I was suffering during the original Princess Bride rendered me sterile.
Exactly.
Long-term illness?
It was
No, it's just like,
the
sometimes that
effects
thing
were long
happens.
term.
Yeah.
I mean, I recovered.
yeah.
But
He
sterility
led a healthy
stayed
life,
with me.
but
yeah,
nothing in the tank.
nothing in the tank.
You have a child that had progeria, so it looked like Wallace Shawn.
Right.
And so he's inconceivable a lot, but you adopt.
The story of that kid in the bed.
It's going to be great. Robin Wright Penn, now played by Selena Gomez.
Right.
And who
Let's cast it.
Okay, let's cast it.
Okay.
Let's cast it. Dwayne Johnson as what replaces Andre the Giant.
Right. That's good. That's good.
That's actually a good casting choice.
That's a good.
I go Dave Bautista.
You go Batista?
Yeah.
Okay, Batista.
I thought you were gonna go another way. And do like Ronda Rousey, and just like make her big.
You
Yeah.
could make no. Inigo Montoya now would have
Because you got to reimagine now. You got to reimagine. You can't just.
So
you can't just cast another white guy.
That's true.
right.
You got to reimagine it.
I mean, all
So-
those people you just fired off of Empire need work.
Matt, I'm trying to
Terrence Howard.
bring a new perspective.
Terrence Howard would be great in The Princess Bride with his new math.
I would say Michael B. Jordan. Or
Oh man, he's great.
did you see Creed?
Yeah,
Is it good?
it's amazing.
Looks amazing.
Everyone says it's great.
It came out of nowhere. Like
great.
holy shit.
I'm getting screeners now. Do you get screeners? Do you watch screeners?
How are you only getting them now?
No. I mean, like this time of year. Tis the season.
Like, wait
They
a
overlooked
second.
Fred for
tis the
decades.
season.
Fred, I think your son's been hoarding them.
You don't know that little kid.
He loves a good Sony Picture Classic.
Bridge of Spies, Dad.
He does. They made the sequel for the second. They made the second Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Yes.
For my son.
He's that powerful.
He watched the first one and he goes,
I don't get
"There's
it.
just not enough Dame Judy.
Yeah, so more.
More."
You know, I'd like a hotel slightly worse than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it the second best exotic.
What did you get?
What came in today? There's movies I haven't heard of.
A lot of those are
Justice?
coming
Is there a movie Justice?
I have that one?
Guess
Yeah. What is
in. Yeah,
that?
I don't know.
Yeah. There's movies I put in I just on the title, like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
In the vein of Creed, Justice is about the son of Jackie Gleason's character, Buford T. Justice in Smoking the Bandit. I couldn't get through the bit. I'm sorry. I knew no one was
I
gonna
was
be
in.
on board
I was
for that
in.
one.
I'm watching that.
I know no one was on board for that. Yeah. Oh, ow.
I would
yeah.
watch it.
Oh,
I would watch
I
it.
need to get on the foam roller. Got to work the kink out. I think my spine's a little. Yeah. I don't think I haven't gotten screeners in ages. I don't know why, but I never really
Sign up. You gotta
Yeah.
just sign up on the. Just sign up.
I don't know if
Are you in like
what's that website?
the guilds? Like,
Yeah, but I don't know. I never. There was a period of time.
Are you
where
in the
they-
Writers Guild? That's
That's-
the Writers Guild. They don't. This is the most inside douchebag conversation. Never mind. No one wants to hear.
I'm in the
You in
Writers
the-
Guild.
you in
Let's
the
talk
guild?
about it.
No one wants to hear about
Let's
this.
talk about
This
it.
is
Listen,
not, this is not relatable.
you wanna talk about-
Market
Do you wanna
research
talk
shows
about
that
getting
kids
tiny
love
scripts?
to hear about entertainment guilds.
So-
We'll talk about this one, then we'll do IATSE.
All right, so the IATSE guy, the Dolly Grips, they get just ball bearings. No, the Writers Guild, you don't get movies, you get the screenplay. You just get homework.
Well, they're sending them like they sent like the other day. I got Beasts of No Nation. Is that the name of the movie? Yeah, that came with the screenplay.
I want to see that so bad, and I watched the first. Like I started to watch it. I didn't even get through the. I was like, it's
You
just,
can't take it right now.
I can't. It's
brutal.
I can't.
It's brutal.
I literally didn't even get through like the first 2 minutes.
It would be very different if Chris took over.
Nope. Matt?
Be the beasts of Wyoming.
Not true, Matt.
It'll just be about elk.
At Matt Myra on Twitter.
It would just be the Leonardo DiCaprio movie that's coming out. Where
At Matt Myra on Twitter.
what is that movie called? That looks really good.
The Revenant.
Yes,
Oh, that is a movie title.
which is not Ravenous, which is the movie. I just remember the trailer where the guy yells, "He was licking me." It's about people eating people.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Do you guys do you like horror movies?
No, I don't like horror movies.
Is that? But was Beast of No Nation? Was it that it's just really brutal?
It just was
No,
too
it's a brutal.
disturbing. It's
right
a
from the
brutal.
get-go.
It's
I have
about
a
a
real,
warlord.
like-
No, I know what it's about, but
No,
like right from the get-go.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie. It is.
It is.
'cause-
It's
but
a
it's
real
like,
horror.
It's real.
It's
Like,
atrocities.
I mean, children. Things happening to children. It's just too. I
Yeah.
can't.
Oliver loves it though.
Who's Oliver?
Your son?
Oh, my son Oliver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loves it.
He loves
loves
his
his favorite movie.
He's
Brought it in for show and tell.
He said they didn't go far enough. He felt like they pulled. He felt like they pulled.
They
a
had
lot
more
of
in the
punches.
tank.
Oh,
Dad,
yeah,
they had more in the tank.
Yeah, like he felt like there was a lot more cruelty that could have been inflicted on those kids.
I'm a kid. I'm not offended. All right, let's just take it down, please.
He's like, I can say that. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I can say it. You can't say that, Dad. You can't say it, but I can
I'm
say
a
it.
kid.
Yeah. You can't. I can say that.
Where's my fucking orange juice?
Oh, my kids are great. I love my kids.
What do you guys watch together? What do you watch with your kids?
Girl Meets World.
We watch a lot of Girl. They love Girl Meets World. They love The Grinder. Mostly just things the Savages are in. Which, incidentally, takes up a lot of time.
Is it any Savage, like Savage Steve Holland movies,
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage, Adam Savage from Mythbusters,
Right.
my friend Andrea Savage?
Yeah, all that. Oh, yeah, they love it all. They love any Savage. Any Savage. Savage Garden videos.
Love all.
Anything with the Savage in it.
It'd be amazing if that was a rule. It was like, you can watch anything you want as long as there's a Savage in it somewhere.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Which, again, doesn't leave time for a lot else. I'm not going to lie.
No, that populates an entire lifetime.
Absolutely.
I feel like someday when I have a kid, I will institute weird rules like that. Okay, this week you can only watch things that begin with the letter K.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens, because they have to listen to you.
You know what my kids are in it? My daughter, this is a cool dad thing. Like, my daughter's really into Supergirl. Loves
nice.
Supergirl. Which is like, I love that. Like, I feel like Ali Adler, who created that show, I know her. And I feel like that's what, like, they did that. So, like, you know, young girls would look up and be like, that's so cool. Like, she's a superhero. I love
that's
that.
great.
So she's into that. I mean, look, when they said Supergirl's coming out, I'm like, oh, okay, one of those, right? But now my daughter is into it. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Do you watch it with her?
Absolutely. All the time. And then my son is big, you know, Star Wars, got our tickets, you know, really into Star Wars, Harry Potter, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, loves all that.
Very excited for Star Wars. It's just going to open up a whole new world.
He's really into it. He's very excited. And I have a 3-year-old son. He's really into it. And so but we got really into the show this summer called Home Free. Anyone watch this reality show, Home Free?
No.
Oh, is this
Just
the
fantastic.
Canadian contractor whose name I can't? Mike Holmes
Yes,
show.
Mike
The
Holmes.
Mike Holmes show. Yeah.
So do you know him? Is he a guy?
He's Homes on Homes is
So-
a great
that-
DIY show.
Basically, it's all these families, you know, 10 like incredibly deserving families, each one with a different story. You know, they're all competing in these challenges to win a home. At the end, you win a house. And so each week, the challenge is they're going to renovate a house. You got to redo the floors in this, and they compete. And then whoever does they eliminate someone, and then 9 families go on to compete for the house. What you don't know is everyone gets a house. So the team that so say you go to this house and everyone renovates this house, the team that gets eliminated, all the people that stay on get on a bus and go off to, stay somewhere and get ready for the next challenge. The family gets eliminated, sticks around. He goes, would you like to meet the deserving family who you built this house for? And they're like, yeah, I mean, we're so bummed we got eliminated, but that would be nice, if we could meet the people who get this house. and they walk in and it's a photo of them and they start crying. It's amazing.
Those people look just like us. Why couldn't it be us?
That seems cruel.
Honey, we have to murder them.
But this is a beautiful show. I spent way too much time explaining it.
So everyone gets a house?
Everyone gets a house.
So nothing is at stake,
No
really.
one loses.
Well,
But there's still the spirit of competition because they think.
they think. So they're really
Something's at
competing
stake.
How many
hard.
seasons of that show could they do? If
Just the one, I think. I don't think it has legs.
Did one.
I don't think it has legs.
In season 2, everyone's going to know, like, well,
Yeah, I'm going to dog it. Fuck it. I'm going to win this house. You
cleaning
sand the floors. Mike Holmes on Holmes.
Well,
no thanks, Miyagi.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have legs. But it was great.
Yeah.
Me and my kids really get into that.
What channel is that on?
that was on
Fox.
Fox. It was on
Honestly,
after, it was on after
tearjerker. I mean,
MasterChef.
we would be like bawling every episode. Mostly just me, but it
So
was very
what? So
emotional.
the people who, what are the people who stay on at the end? Do they win an extra big house?
They win the best house.
the best house.
Yeah, they win the best house.
Oh,
That
I
was
wonder if
get
anyone's
better.
ever bummed. They're like, oh, we won the crappy house.
No, but they're not crappy because Holmes knows.
They all
knows
worked. Yeah,
how to make a
They all
Holmes.
worked on them.
Oh, I would just hear these stories about people who would go on game shows, thinking that games like Deal or No Deal.
Yeah,
Sure.
Where they would win, like $100,000 and be backstage crying because they were like, "Oh, we thought we were going to win $800,000 and we already spent the money." We're like, "You what?"
What?
Oh, that's bad accounting.
Is that a thing that the people would do?
That's what I heard.
That's amazing.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I heard.
And they
That's like
always
me
spend.
rolling into Vegas in an Aston Martin because I'm assuming I'm going to win enough to buy an
That
Aston
is
Martin.
something you would do.
Well, not anymore. I'm married.
That's good for you.
Yeah. No, it's
That's very
great.
good for you.
I know.
Yeah,
So, are you off right now? You're off.
we're
from-
off. We're off this week. And then we come back for 2 more. Then we're off for the holidays. But we got picked up for the the back 9, so we're going to be shooting till March, and then we'll see.
You're gonna do a movie in June.
We're going to do a movie in June. Then I'm going to take a little vacation with the family. The show's going to run forever. So, I mean, I don't know, go to the Aston Martin dealership. Maybe you and I
Yeah.
will go buy a couple of cars on the
great.
come.
I'll tell you what,
Why
the
not?
best thing to
What
do
can
is
go
is
wrong?
That show's not getting canceled
standing on the
ever.
precipice of the back 9 is where you really want to start buying extra luxury cars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that means it's gonna go forever.
It's funny. You park in the garage at Fox where we shoot, and we're parked amongst the cast of a lot of shows, and you know who the pros are,
Right.
versus who the new kids are, because I'm not going to say any shows, but there was a show that's pretty new. Everyone's got the fresh off the boat gang. They got their old beaters. Like they know what's
Yeah.
up. They're pros, right?
Yeah.
I know Randall Park a little
Yeah.
bit. He's a pro, But there's some other shows, like brand new show, and you see there's shiny new cars. Someone's like, I got it. I got a show. I'm going to the dealership. I'm doubling down.
Oh boy.
I'm getting something sweet. I don't know.
Oh no!
Right? I know.
You could just cancel a show in the middle of a no.
No, wait.
I
But
do.
there's a contract.
You said-
I can't cancel the contract. You can.
I read that wrong.
I
See, when I
didn't.
signed this 6-year deal, I thought I would be.
I thought that I gotta keep my receipts.
that just means that
I gotta
you
keep
own
my
me for
receipts.
6 years. So if I were to have, say, gone off-roading with this Porsche, I could just give it back and get all the money back.
You have a Porsche now, and that's it.
No,
That's my favorite. Like, I love driving around Los Angeles and you see the guys that bought the Porsche in 1990, and they're still driving that Porsche because
Oh yeah.
stuck with it. I haven't worked since.
Your assets are frozen in your success, and that can be very time-stamped, so you can
Yeah.
see,
The good year.
Yeah,
What was your good year?
You see the good year, like, 94 was a really big year for that guy.
It's an expensive
It's just
90
sort of like,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
that's why you.
But I'm sure
lease.
everyone's going to be very successful
Yeah.
and great, and it's going to be terrific.
And it's a great idea. Always buy the best car you can the second you get money.
Bet on yourself. That's what my wife always says. Bet on yourself, honey. Bet on yourself.
What about the kids? Fuck them.
No.
They got their own thing.
They're going to be fine.
They're gonna be fine. Don't worry about them. You get your nice car.
Yeah. Bet on yourself. My wife really believes in me. She's a real champion.
She does?
Yeah, she does.
That's a
It's very
nice
sweet.
moment.
It's very
That's
sweet.
nice.
It's very sweet.
She yells at you for not taking meetings. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have done this show. It would have not been for Jennifer.
But you need a nice person in your life that has your best
I need
interest.
a nice person. I need one. I need one. My wife's really nice. She's really nice. I mean, not really. I mean,
Because she did yell at you.
I mean,
let's be honest.
she's kind of an asshole, but like in a cool way.
She did shame you in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in a cool, like I wouldn't like, you know, like in a cool way. Like if my wife was all like, "Oh, hey, here's cookies," you'd be like, "Oh, who's that?"
Yeah.
She's kind of, you know, she's kind of an asshole, but like cool.
Hey, asshole, cookies.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, she
Yeah.
kind of threw them at me.
Yeah.
Cookies, don't eat too many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She says that. I ride a bike, you know, for exercise, and you know, and I'll be eating something. She'll be like, "I don't know, honey." I'm like, "What do you?" I rode. She goes, "A lot of fat cyclists out there. A lot of fat guys on bikes, honey." So she's not that nice, but she's
Right,
awesome.
of course.
Yeah.
You know, love sometimes is harsh.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Love her.
sometimes we fucking deserve it.
Absolutely, and sometimes you need the people who love you the most to tell you that you're kind of a dick.
And if you don't, then you grow up to be the douchebag that, you know, because you didn't have someone that was
Yeah.
constructively. There are constructive ways to do it.
It's constructive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like throwing cigarettes at your face and going, "You fucking piece of shit."
No, but it has come to that.
She doesn't even smoke. She just lights a cigarette to
No,
flick it at your head.
she lights the cigarettes just to throw them in me. I'm like, you can even take a drag on it. It'll be-
I asked the questions here.
yeah, I'm like, it'll be hotter. It'll hurt more if you just, you know, stoke it a little bit. It's gonna burn me more. But you know,
Oh, man.
She can't be bothered to even hurt you more. She's
Yeah.
like, no.
just want to humiliate you. It's fine.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to come on, and I'm sorry it didn't happen sooner. It wasn't.
Aren't you? This was
I
good.
am.
Imagine all the fun we could have had.
I'm telling you, yeah, I feel like, you know,
What are you telling me?
there are a handful of people that come on.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I want you to come on with some regularity because you're sort of like one of us.
Do you think like that?
I do.
Am I?
I do. There are some people that come on and I go, hey, they did a really great job. We haven't really had many bad experiences on this podcast
Mm-hmm.
at all. But there are some people that are like, oh, that was really great. But I would never think, well, that person should come back all the time. But there are some people that just naturally click with us. People like you and Jason Schwartzman. And like there's just really cool people that just sort of click in. And you should just come back.
He's right.
Great. Can I have that seat? Do you have to be here
You
anymore?
can sit in Matt's seat.
You can take my seat. Whatever.
Can I hang out?
I'll just take your seat.
All right.
Do you want to sit in it now to see what it feels like? It's going to be warm.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
going to be really warm.
Yeah, I mean-
I feel like you make chairs real hot.
I make lots of things real hot.
Yeah, you
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
What
do.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the Grinder is on Fox.
Tuesdays at 8:30.
Tuesdays.
Although Tuesdays we're moving to 9:30 after the holidays.
Oh.
Moving to 9. Big switch on Tuesday night. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming from Sunday to Tuesday, and we're going to be after Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine at 9, followed by the Grinder at 9:30.
It doesn't
And-
really
and
work with
that's-
the title, but it
No,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't. It does. I wish it was Grinder 30. Or 9 Grinder.
So your show is about your show
Call it
is about
Ninder.
Grinder.
your show is all about
You like 9 Grinder better? The Grinder. Okay, yeah.
your show is all about meeting anonymous gay men for sex
That's
in
right.
your area.
Well, specifically Rob Lowe. It's not anonymous. It's anonymous for he doesn't know who he's meeting up with. But you
He's up for
know,
whatever. He's a real pro.
you know, you're gonna get some action with Rob.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, that's good, but Rob doesn't know.
He doesn't know who it's gonna be.
It's like Homes on Homes, but for a gay dating app.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everyone wins.
Everyone
a home.
gets a Rob
Everyone
Lowe.
gets a Rob Lowe.
Guess whose dick you're gonna suck? Guess who gets to suck Rob Lowe's dick? And then you reveal a picture of yourself, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And
Yeah.
and then he comes in.
That's right. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. That's what we're doing every week.
Tuesdays after Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Rob blowjob.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, it works.
That's good. Yeah, no one has sex with anybody. It's a very clean show. Very family comedy.
Family comedy.
You know, funny, irreverent, kind of a little meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I hope it runs forever.
I mean, I bought a lot of cars. I'm not gonna lie. That guy was talking about my story. It was me.
That's okay. We knew that, though.
I have
I'm trying to make you feel
You're
better.
just trying to keep up with the cast of Empire, weren't you?
I am, and Rob. I mean, Rob's got a lot of nice shit, and so like everything he has, it's like the best of everything. You know, even like little meaning, like oh Rob, can I borrow a pen? And it's just this pen made of just it's like a quill. It's like an eagle's quill.
It's a bald eagle's
It's a
quill.
bald eagle feather.
It's a full eagle.
It's just an. It's just an eagle.
He just writes with its claw.
You just tell the eagle what to write.
All his personal assistants are just endangered species. He's got a white rhino who drives him around.
Oh, yeah,
White privilege rhino.
Yeah,
That suit looks good, but you should take it to my puffin.
yeah. No, he's good. No. So what? Yeah, I hope it runs forever. Yeah, I thank you. I hope it does.
And you'll come back on in a couple months.
His
just for
accountant's a
fun.
peregrine falcon. There's a lot of endangered species out there.
Are we just going through endangered species
Yep.
now? Snow leopards? Are they
Sure.
endangered?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. My son has a book.
Everyone poops?
No, it's a book about all endangered white. I see
White rhino?
I see a white rhino. What do you see? I see something looking at me, and I'm trying to think of all the different. There's a book about boa constrictor. I don't know. Whatever. We'll talk about it later. Next time. This is something for next time.
That's your homework.
We're going to figure this out right now.
This is something for next time.
Could you call your wife and have her drive your son and the book over here?
Oh my gosh, she would love it. I live like down the street. I live literally down. I live like 4 blocks from here.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be here when I'm gonna be here a lot, even when I'm not invited.
Please do.
So I hope you meant it because I'm gonna take you up on it pretty often.
I demand that be the case. You just show up. Oh, Fred's here.
Yeah,
Hey, guys.
and he's pissed. Oh fuck. I mean, you have all the curtains drawn and stuff, so
Yeah.
Well, that one's open. Yeah, this is a bad idea. I'm gonna really start some shit up in here.
And at that
You
moment.
could just walk by some.
Are you narrating?
I was going to narrate.
Okay,
the
go.
end,
Yeah, okay.
And at that moment, sitting there looking across from my friend Chris, I knew this would be the greatest podcast day ever. And our lives would never be the same.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Now you can fade out with the Joe Cocker song.
We can't clear that.
He's not going to know. Hey, everybody, that's my Joe Cocker. I was just listening to this fucking podcast, and I don't understand why I hear my song, but I don't see a paycheck in my fucking hand.
Then Paul McCartney calls. I wrote it. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, Paul, I was just collecting the money for you. Hey, man, I don't want any trouble. Hey, Paul. Oh, Paul, you're hurting me. Paul, let me go.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song.
Now leaving Nerdist.com. Enjoy your burrito.